Instead of school.
Okay. And let me, hey, ex-producer, let me know if you can hear us on the feed talking as we take the court. It's not a huge deal. As long as they can hear y'all, which they will, that's all. Y'all are what's important. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our third annual Cherokee County basketball meeting day. We're going to start out today with Cherokee County girls. And Coach, introduce yourself, and then girls on down the line, your names and what grades you're in, of course.
I'm Coach Richard Barton. This is my first year, Cherokee County.
I'm Audrey Haygood, and I'm a junior this year.
I'm Ella Gormany, and I'm a senior.
I'm Mary Hayes, and I'm a junior.
Well, girls, just talk about how Coach Barton has been in his first season with y'all. I mean, just talk about maybe some differences, some changes. Just talk about that.
He's really pushing us. We're doing a lot of conditioning, getting better,
Yeah,
and playing together as a team.
I think he holds us accountable for what we do in practice.
Yeah, he gets on to us a little bit.
Yeah, he pushes us to be the best we can be.
What's it called? Tough love?
Tough love.
Tough
But
love.
y'all are used to him, though, are you not? I mean, didn't y'all?
We didn't get
Yeah.
to play
We
with
didn't
him when he
get to play
came
with him.
I
his
think
first year.
I think I had Mary Hayes and Audrey as 7th graders, but I wasn't the head coach, and then Ella was an 8th grader that year. So this was kind of the first group of girls that I had the chance to do any coaching with. So these are probably the 3 that I know the least out of all the girls we have in our program. But
Well, Coach, since you're mentioning that, just talk about how things have been going with these girls so far.
it's been good. It's trying to get buy-in from everybody, which a lot of the younger girls have no expectations in the way that we want things done, and then with these older girls, just trying to get them to step up and lead and talk and communicate and hold each other accountable. But I will say that it's a really hard-working group of girls, and it's what you want, because I mean there's never any back talk or lip or anything like that. It's they have a lot of respect for our whole coaching staff, and when you ask them to do something, they're going to do it. They respond well to the coaching so far, so we're getting better, and they're learning from me, and I'm learning from them, and we're looking to grow as a team.
Who are your assistant coaches?
Coach Kai Kauser, he'll be our JV coach. He coached with them last year, so they're real comfortable with him. Zach Keifield, who coached with me at the middle school level, and then Flo Major.
Mr. Rowe, take it away.
So what are some of the main emphases you're having this preseason, I guess you'd say?
I think like in the summer, our focus was learning how to practice and how to work out and get stronger, and taking that seriously and knowing the impact that can have on their game, on their conditioning. And then Coach Hayes has them during athletics, because I'm not over at the high school, and then I know he pushes them hard and does a good job with that. But I think one of the first things that, and they'll tell you the same thing, because we were just sitting here talking about that last Hamley game from last year, and the biggest emphasis was we got out-rebounded and the physicality of the game. So that's one of the things we're pushing, trying to get better at. I think they'll tell you too, they didn't have the biggest bodies last year, but we do have some bigger frames this year, and a lot of that is going to be young girls that it may take some time to bring them along, but rebounding is definitely an emphasis, and then communication, getting them to talk on the court especially. They're all big talkers until we get out there, and so we recently took a trip this past Monday. We all loaded up and went to Tuscaloosa and watched a 3-hour practice. I wanted them to see the way practice is supposed to be ran, the focus, the things that they're doing at that level that can help us, how they communicate with one another, how they compete, how everything's competition. So we've tried to take some of those things that we saw there and bring those back, and implement that into our game, and do our best to be the best we can this year.
What are some of the things you expect from other teams in your region?
From our region, Well, I think we switched areas a little bit this year. I think we have Jacksonville still on the schedule, which I don't think we're ever going to be able to shake them. They're kind of there to stay. I competed against them every year that I was in high school. So Jacksonville, which I think the girls saw a little bit this summer and got a chance to play this summer, and they're actually in our first tournament that we're going to play this year. So there's a possibility that we could see them. And then Etowah, who I think we ended up playing in the area championship last year. I know they've got one or two girls who are really skilled, have some good size, so I know they'll be competitive. And then Cleveland County is our other area team. Actually, Etowah's not in our area; it's White Plains, but we will see Etowah this year as well. And then our cross area, of course, is the Hanley and Anniston area, and we know that's a very competitive area. And we actually see Hanley first game in the Invitational this year, so I'm excited about that. We've lost people, they've lost people, but I think that being an early game for us, being the team that put us out, I want to see how we respond to a team like that.
Yeah, Coach Strange and daughter are quite a team. I've watched them coach together and talk to them.
Absolutely.
It'd be quite a competition. What are the things, girls, that he's talking about you talking and being more vocal on the court? Now, we know you talk in the classroom and talk in the hall, so how do you get better at that then? How do you work, or what do you do to work on that? Just do it at practice, just trying to be more vocal?
Reminding
Yeah.
yourself, and
Just saying what you think.
yeah, they told us that at Alabama.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, they would know.
So if you're thinking it, just say it.
Yeah.
Noise is gonna
Communication is key.
mess up the offense anyway. So yeah.
Sure, like letting each other know how the game's going and how the other players are playing you, and finding weak spots in the other team. That's always good to talk. It's very important.
So what kind of experience do y'all have? Did y'all start last year, or did y'all get a lot of playing time, you three girls?
Yes.
We've played together
Yeah.
since middle school, and we got moved up our freshman year. So we've been together for
Yeah,
a long
like
time.
Carson, I mean, this team here, I was over
Same
there
bunch.
a lot with them last year, and they played a lot of ball together. They have. And then the size thing is kind of been a thing, but they play hard and they shoot well. I mean, these three girls, they all shoot the ball very good. So I look forward to a good season this year. I think you have a good. Now Cleveland County's also.
Yes, sir.
So
They're
I
an area
don't
team.
know much. Tell us about Cleveland County, Coach.
I don't know a too awful lot about them because we haven't got to watch a whole lot of film. I know that probably their best player is now at Jacksonville State, and so I mean that's a big loss for them, I'm sure. But
What are some of the drills in practice you think, you girls think really are the best drills you do, the things that get you guys better?
We do lots of like closeout drills, and that gets us talking too. And many box out drills.
What's the circle one called?
Circle box.
circle
Oh,
trap.
circle trap.
Oh,
We do transition drills. We play a game called Somebody's Open. It's like 5 people.
it's
five
five
on
People
board.
and 4 people on defense, and somebody's open.
What's the circle trap drill?
It's just a pressure drill. It's 3-on-3. Just getting them used to having pressure on them, but also working on closing traps and being disciplined and not fouling.
You don't have to give away what you're doing, but how much are you extending the court, full court, or are you?
I think it's necessary to put pressure on teams, especially the way we're built, especially the way we want to play. We want to be able to press and put pressure on them and be able to run the floor and like we have, but also being under control, being able to run half court when we find those teams and see those teams that are going to make us do that. That's one of the things that we've really been preaching through this week is it's one thing to be fast, but being fast and doing it while you're under control, not turning the ball over.
You mentioned some tournaments earlier in the year. What are some of the tournaments you guys?
Yeah, we're playing in the Champions Thanksgiving tournament. That'll be November 19th. We'll see Ohatchee first in that tournament, and then let's see. Of course, we have the Invitational later on. We'll go to Skyline for a Christmas tournament. That's our early season.
Coach, where did you play?
I played Cherokee County.
Oh, okay. Cedar Bluff, so I don't know a lot about Cherokee County basketball, but it's been good for a while. Did you play for Coach Hayes?
For Coach Hayes? No,
Yeah.
sir. Coach Coach Hayes is 2 years older than me, so we were in high school together. I know I look young. Not as young as I look.
I thought you might have been 21, 22.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Appreciate that, though.
At the end of the year, what do you hope Cherokee County fans, what impression do you hope they have of the team by the end of the year?
I hope that we're playing together as a team. That the girls are a team. They love playing together. The body language is good every single game. They're competing. We're in games. We're winning games. We're competing. But I mean, we have the ultimate goals to win championships, and we want to be there. We want to host that area tournament. We want to win that area tournament. That sub-region game, we want to be in Jacksonville, and that should be our expectation every year.
You were 1 game away.
One game away.
Lost by 1 point.
Yeah. It was close.
I don't think it was
definitely
1 point, but it was close.
It was close.
I know we had about a 12-point lead
I
at
don't
halftime. So
Yeah.
I kind of blocked that game out of
Yeah,
my
I
mind.
kind of don't like to think about it.
Ella, what's it like having a lot of shooters around you? I know you're the sort of the focal point on the inside. I mean, just talk about having the shooters that you have around you.
The shooters that I've run, it's good to have somebody like pass the ball out to me, but this year Coach Barton wants to utilize me as the guard, so I won't be a post this year.
she'll play a little post, but
Maybe.
I think
Yeah,
one
sometimes.
thing that a lot of people don't know about Ella is that she probably is our best shooter on the team. So we do want to utilize that. We want to get her open looks because it's smooth and it's effortless, and she hasn't really had the opportunity necessarily to do that because of the lack of size and the way that we've played in the past. But she's a fantastic shooter.
So are we looking kind of up tempo here, or are we
I hope so.
Yeah, if you just run fast, be fast up down the court when you can play to what your strengths actually are. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Anything else? Good? Everybody, Mr. Roy, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Girls, thank you for your time.
We look forward to
Thank
seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah, we'll be seeing you out there. You know, I'll be. Appreciate y'all. Okay, mic is on. We're on live. Men, it's good to see all you guys here. We know some of your faces, so introduce yourself and what grade you're in by first.
Jackson, I'm in 12th grade.
Eli Martin, 11th grade.
Landon Caldwell, 12th grade.
All right, guys. So after from last year and then moving into this year, what things like we talked to Coach about? What things are you looking forward to, Coach Hayes, to build upon last year? What are you looking to do?
Yeah, so last year we came very close. Had a very tough game against Etowah in the area tournament, and we were in a place where we could have made a run and also could be put out in the first round of the area because Etowah was really talented, Jackson really talented. We crossed with Hanley Aniston, which we played Hanley in the Christmas Invitational and beat them pretty handily. We knew we could make a run, but we knew there was a lot of competition there, and got in a little foul trouble and some pressure situations, got us hurt. That ended up costing us moving on in our season, but I still thought we had a great season. So the good thing is we have pretty much all those guys coming back. We lost 3 seniors that, they were great role players, but hopefully with some experience in that type situation, these guys will come back and and be able to handle that adversity a little bit better. But these guys right here, they're my only basketball only guys. Everybody else we got's playing football. So hopefully, we'll make a run. So we may be a little behind when it comes to the basketball stuff when it starts. But these guys are chomping at the bit. They're working in the gym. They're getting in on their own and getting shots up. Doing their own workouts. So we're just hoping to keep everybody healthy through football season, and when we get to where we need to be, that leadership's going to be there, and we're going to make a push and get everybody on the same page. But I'm just kind of holding my breath right now. So
Talking about that, it's sort of a situation where you're kind of in wait and see mode with football and everything, and getting all these guys together. I mean, just talk about. I mean, it's sort of a double-edged sword right now. Yeah, you want to see football do well, but you want to get all these guys together and get them cohesive as a unit. I mean, just talk about that.
yeah, I mean, we're wanting to win the state championship in football, and these guys want those guys to win the state championship in football. So yeah, they want to be playing basketball as well, but we want to come. Our whole culture as a school and what we've tried to build over the past 4 years with all the changes that we've made, the football program, the basketball program, boys, girls, soccer, wrestling, softball, baseball, everything. We're just we want to be successful in everything. When you build that culture, if we miss 3 weeks, well, they've been in the weight room all year round. Football, as soon as football's over, those guys, I mean, we're lifting in basketball season, we're lifting on game days, so the season don't end just because the game's end. So just because those guys are in football mode right now, these guys are the leaders of the student section. They're around each other at school all the time. They're in the weight room just the same as those guys. So yeah, we're not having organized basketball practice, but our culture, I feel like, is good enough that the camaraderie is going to be there. Yeah. We just now got to make that happen with a basketball in our hands whenever that time comes. But these guys have been playing together. These seniors, I've coached them every year that they've ever played basketball past youth league. So 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, I've had them every single year of their basketball career. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's not. They may be tired of me by now, I don't know. But, I mean, they know me, I know them, so if we miss a couple weeks because we're making a run at football, all that means is we got winners that are going to be coming into, where we're going, so I'm not too worried about it.
Looks like size might be an advantage. I mean, just looking at all 3 of these guys, I mean, they're pretty tall.
Has some length on the court.
Yeah.
No doubt, and I know you can't tell, but they've actually put on some muscle mass as well. So all these guys, you got Landon's probably 6'6", maybe. He likes to say 6'6". I haven't got the measuring tape, but if anybody's 6'6", he's 6'6". So, and then Eli probably 6'2", Jackson's 6', 6'1", and all of them all their power clean, hang clean, bench, squat, everything has went up tremendously from last year as well. So I would say all of them probably went up almost 50 pounds or more on every single max they got. And so we're looking forward to being a little bigger, a little more physical, and also keeping that same skill. But the length is there. So now speed, we're working on that as well.
So your region's the same as the girls?
Yes.
Jacksonville?
Yeah, Jackson, White Plains,
They're all
Cleveland
right,
County.
Jackson's okay.
I'm pretty sure that like every team we play ends up becoming a rival. Our guys make it that way a lot of times, so it usually turns into that.
Did y'all play Jacksonville well? I know they won it last year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we played them as well as anybody.
Right.
They beat us by around.
Did y'all finish second? Did y'all finish, or did?
Well, Etowah, they beat us by 3 in their tournament. So, I guess we tied for last. I don't know, but we had, in the season we did well. But yeah, that Jacksonville they were the top guys. They've had some changes, but they got a lot of guys coming back as well. But they're all going to be competitive. Cleveland County.
Their best player left, right?
Their tallest player. He's definitely one of their best.
State championships will do that. Makes you want to transfer. What was I gonna? So talk about some of the guys that are not on here, that are not here.
All right, yeah. So you got, our guard play, Jack Amos and Malachi Horton. They'll both be coming back. So they kind of share the point guard position. Both of them get the ball up the floor really well. Jack was third team All-State last year. He averaged 20 points a game or so. So we're expecting him to come back and have a good year. Malachi was one of our team captains, vocal leader, defensive leader, assist leader, and both of those guys are not tall, but they both were in the hunt for rebounding. You had Landon and Jaden were definitely the two leaders in the rebounding category, but those two guys, they attack the ball when it comes off the rim. Jaden Wilson, he's decided to play football this year. He's had a good season for us. He's really came on as a role player, and he's put on some weight. He's another 6'5", can jump very well, finishes around the rim, great shot blocker. He was one of our all-area players. He'll be a senior coming back. Of course, Cade Hopper, he's back to football this week, so that gives me some relief. Big-time rebounder, great shooter, power forward type player that, he can do a little bit of everything. Jacob Cornejo joining us this year. We expect him to be just an energy guy, very physical, great defender, has a pretty good shot as well. I didn't know that.
Do you have any yards last night?
Just a couple. I'm not sure if he broke 100 or maybe close to 400, but six touchdowns, something like that. But he's a gamer. He fits in with our guys very well. You got Naeem Dobbins, who's going to be coming up off the JV, another post player, very physical. Got Alex Johnson, got some speed, and who else? Who am I missing?
I think that's it.
All right. So we got 10 guys that we think we can go, and there's some guys coming up that are young guys as well that I expect our JV team to be pretty talented and to possibly push for some roles here, but we just have to kind of see where the season goes with that. Mm-hmm.
Guys, in the summer, tell us some things that y'all work on in the summer. When you're not playing football and you can just basketball, what do y'all do? Just shooting around, working out, those kind of things?
I went to just a crap ton of camps and just stayed in the gym and worked out and just kept going, and yeah.
Now the big game ball up in Huntsville, or Caden had played at. Is he here yet? No, he's not. I know they go up there and play a lot. Have you been up there and played any of those?
I haven't. I've been to a couple of camps with Caden though. I usually just went to college camps and stuff like that.
Yeah. How about y'all?
We worked out a lot, and we pretty much worked out and shot 3-4 days a week the whole summer. So we definitely got some shots up this summer.
Yeah, that Dr. Dish that we have, the shooting gun, we probably got up maybe close to 500 shots a week each on it.
So. That makes you happy, Coach, right?
Well, 500 shots a week, not necessarily, but 500 a day, I'm pretty happy. But
depends on how many they're making.
That's it.
So what are some of the things you're emphasizing as soon as you do get the football players?
I mean, first thing's going to be just getting into basketball shape. We got a lot of guys that play both ways in football, so I'm not as worried about being in shape as it is that full court, nonstop, being able to move, transition, and then just getting their touch back. So I do think our depth will help us get into that rhythm, but making sure that spacing's right, that we're not crowding, that are, when we get to practice, whenever it's over, because it's been a long football season already, hopefully later, that they're ready to go with the right type of energy for basketball. And then, getting our spacing right on offense, make sure we're communicating on defense and all the things that every coach would, tell you, but just the fundamentals, getting it back to where we're not kicking passes around and doing the things that drive a coach crazy. But, just trusting these guys to work together to come to a common goal and make some memories and make some things happen that's going to get us going, because we're going to do what we do. We're going to run. We're going to switch up some defenses and try to attack teams based on their scouting report. But the biggest thing is just if we can make the ball go in that little orange hoop, that's what I'm worried about the most right now when they come back. So I think the defense will be there. I think we'll be aggressive. I think the competitiveness will be there. It's just when you get out of football, making it go in that small little sphere right there can kind of be tough. So that's what we're looking for.
So by saying you're going to run, we're doing a little up tempo, or
I think it kind of depends on who we're playing, what type of style we want to play. I feel comfortable that our guys, offensively, we want to move the ball up and down the floor, obviously, but the shot selection and the decisions we make when we do that is really what we need to do. And if the other team we're playing is also fast and they do a good job on transition defense, we may have to slow it down and get into some of our sets. But, if we can get down the floor faster than they can and get a layup or an open look, then, we'll take it. But it just kind of goes to what decisions are we making if we're playing at a fast pace. And if we're making good decisions, then we'll run all day long. If we need to slow that team down, then we may have to try to take some seconds off the clock and really, see what kind of shot we're taking and make sure we're getting the right type of shot selection. So, everybody likes to play with tempo, but based on who we're playing, we may have to change our style to counteract what they're doing.
Is there anything that you guys didn't do as well last year that you want to really make sure you do well this year?
Every year I've been here, our shooting percentages have went up. I would like for our shooting percentage to continue to do that. The rebounding last year was pretty even when I look at our team versus their team. We would usually win the battles, but it wasn't exactly what plus minus what I would want it to be. Our efficiency on offense, I thought our turnovers were a little too high a lot of times, and sometimes that goes with not taking a good look when we have it, or possibly just bad decision making, maybe a bad cut here or there. So just executing a little better in our half-court stuff and making sure we're making the right decisions. But I thought towards the end of the season, our defensive numbers were not exactly what I wanted. So we've got some tall guys, obviously, so everybody likes to block shots, but for those other guys, I'd like for our, getting in position on help defense to take a charge and doing the unselfish things that are going to end up turning you into a better team. So that's really just kind of fine-tuning what we already emphasized, but hopefully pushing it a little bit more. But the defensive side of it, offense is going to be streaky, but you can always control defensively what kind of effort you play with, how you close out, how you rebound, and then, how you stop the ball and communicate. So hopefully that emphasis is where we need to win games early, especially. So.
I got one question. I just want to see if you agree.
All right. No.
Coach told me one time that it made no difference on closing out whether they hit that shot or not. I don't believe that. Do you believe that?
Well, I would say that 99% of basketball coaches would not just sit back there and let everybody shoot.
Seems like
and
they
just
shoot
say,
there when nobody comes
yeah.
down.
So we shoot a lot better in practice when nobody's guarding us. I know that. So
I don't know where he read that.
So
you
yeah,
don't agree with it
I would have to disagree with that because that one, you got to make sure that guy don't get his rebound, and two, if you can alter a shot, then he's not just shooting in rhythm. But I can promise you, if we just let Jacob St. Clair sit out there and shoot uncontested shots all day, he's going to have 100 points. Wilt Chamberlain.
He might have saw that on Facebook or something.
Wilt Chamberlain will no longer have the scoring record, I can promise you. So, no, I do believe in closing out. Now, there's definitely a way to do it and a way that we want to attack it and not just run out there and not be disciplined about it. But, yeah, I definitely think that contesting a shot is
I just had to get
pretty
some
important.
feedback on that. And I don't think the corner shot's the hardest shot on the floor either, do you? Every time I see somebody shoot from there, they hit it.
Corner shot from the three is supposed to be one of the better shots from the three-point line, but then the short corner is supposed to be the worst shot in basketball, supposedly. But whatever shot that different kids are going to shoot better from different spots. So all these guys got spots on the floor that they're going to be more effective at, that they like, that they're more comfortable. But I think if you're confident shooting it and you've put in the reps, I think there's a lot of different shots that could be good shot selection based off who the kid is.
Yes, sir.
Janet, send us out of here, brother. Guys, Coach mentioned depth being, an asset. Just talk about, trying to use depth as one of your strengths.
Well, we should just be able to push the ball up and go as hard as we can because we know somebody's coming in for us.
Mm-hmm.
So just when you're in, you got to go as hard as you can because, you only get to play once. So
Yeah.
somebody's going to come and get you, and then they'll go hard again. So we'll just do that the whole game.
If everybody goes as hard as they can while they're in, once you get a break, somebody else should be. Once that one guy, if you go as hard as you can, once you get out, somebody else, the person that got you, needs to be going as hard as they can.
We got 10 guys who can play really well, and so you know that if you're not playing hard, that other person's going to come right back in there and show you up.
I agree. Anything else, Diamond Dean?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Good luck on the season, and we'll catch y'all around.
Appreciate you guys.
Look forward to seeing you.
Appreciate it.
Mike is hot. All right, everybody, welcome back for our third annual Basketball Media Day. We're very grateful here to hold it at the Rock. Very appreciative for those guys to let us have it here. A little change of pace for us, and we got Spring Garden Panthers in here with us, the boys team, and of course we want to thank Smorgasbord Restaurant over the Cove, helping us sponsor this today, helping us make this happen. Go over there to Cedar Bluff, 1210 County Road 131, 256-779-6436. Brad and Brasha own the place. They are Cherokee County residents, and they're doing a big catering service right now. So if anybody listening is looking to cater some parties, football games, or any of that kind of thing, please give those people a call over. Talk to Brad and Brasha about that. So we appreciate them.
Great place to eat.
No, they have steak and shrimp, and you been over there? Oh man, you were missing out.
It's
Homemade
good.
cakes and the coconut cakes, and let me tell you, it's as good as it gets. So we thank them for sponsoring, and for the Rock, for Lance and Miss Beth for letting us have it here. So these guys don't need a whole lot of introduction. We kind of know who some of them are. So Cam, start with yourself and grade, and you continue forth and coach also.
I'm Cam Welsh, and I'm a senior.
I'm Braxton Haney, and I'm a senior.
John Mark Rogers, and I'm a senior.
Levi Hatcher, first year head coach.
Coach, what's it like to kind of be, I mean, you've been around and you've coached over there, and we know you. It's kind of your baby now, so what are you most excited about, I guess, is starting out the year and it's just you?
Well, I just started this past week with our non-football guys and got them in the gym some so that we can get them in the condition that they need to be in. But I'm really excited. I was out, I think, as soon as they introduced me, we were out eating, and I had somebody come up with a phone and said, "This you?" I was like, "Yes, that's me." That is because not many people around here know me. I'm from Trine, and that's where I coached most of my time. And then took a break after we had our second child. So But came over last year. I'd came to many games before anyway, so I kind of knew some of the guys, talked to Coach Rad a good bit, talked to some of the players in years past. And coming in last year really helped me kind of start forming connections that would benefit us this year and for future years and everything. So I'm just excited for, hopefully not anytime soon, but I'm excited to get working with all the guys whenever they finish up with football. Like I said, after hopefully a deep run.
We think so. We think y'all make a good run at it. We like it this year. We think you make a good run.
So what are some of the things you hope to emphasize in practice once the football players get back, and what you've emphasized during the summer?
One thing I like is I'm more of a defensive type coach. I like to set the tone on the defensive end. I like to let other teams know that, you know, we're not going to back down. We're going to be hard-nosed and tough, and we're going to try to be creative with our defensive schemes this year. You know, we lost some players last year, and you know, some key offensive players. We got some coming back. I'm not worried about that, but I like to set the tone with defense first. To me, if you go out there and you make another team kind of feel suffocated, or you put them into a passive position, then you can kind of get in their heads a little bit. And you know, I like that feeling to see other teams kind of back away a little bit because you took it to them first.
Before we get too far, I want to ask this so I can put this on the post here. First games on court, like tournaments or stuff, what's a good date? They can come see you guys play.
First game is November 29th against Faith at our place.
November 29th, thanks. Dean, Shannon?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, Coach, like you said, you've sort of, you know, watched from afar a little bit, and you know, you came on board last year, and then now it's your baby. You know, just talk about the culture that Spring Garden's got. I mean, it's, you know, it's a winning culture.
It's unique. It's I came in and I saw the work ethic, you know, from the first summer I was there to when we got into, like, where I was at. We're not used to an athletics group where all your athletes are together at one time. You know, they were spread out through the day. But I told the guys, and I still tell them, sometimes you take it for granted if that's all you know. Like, if that's what you grow up through, you just assume that's the way it is everywhere. And I've seen different places and stuff where I'm like, it's not that way everywhere. And so coming in, I was talking to my wife, and we at some point wanted to get into Alabama, wanted to come over here and teach. And if we got into coaching, great. And if we didn't, that's fine too. But I told her I wasn't going to just take a job anywhere. Like, it needed to be a good fit for me, for us. And, you know, when you see a culture that's been in place like it is, and the way that these guys work hard every day, it kind of makes it easy to move in a little bit. High expectations, but I want players who can match my intensity, match my effort and desire to win and to be successful. And these guys have done that, and that makes it fun to coach.
I know all three of these guys play football. I mean, just talk about, I mean, you're trying to balance that. I mean, you don't want to, you know, do too much with them as far as basketball or, you know, football's done. I mean, just talk about that process.
Well, Cam and I sat down, actually, it's probably the first couple weeks of school, and I think we talked about an hour in my classroom. He's a student aide in one of the classes, and we sat in, and you know, we just talked about the future, talked about the team, the uncertainty and things like that. But he made the reference of, you know, the guys are wanting to get in the gym, and they're getting in the gym at nights, and they were shooting on their own and things like that. And during the summer, all the month of July, they'd go to football practice, and I'd have the gym open a couple of times after football practice for an hour just to shoot and ball handle drills and things like that. And we'd have 8, 9, 10 every single time that was getting in there. So it's, again, real easy to coach the guys whenever they're getting in the gyms without even letting me know about it. John Mark at church one night said, "Hey, we're all going to the gym and shoot." I said, "Well, don't let me know about it. Like, something were to happen, Coach Howard's coming after me." So, you know, I appreciate y'all being in the gym, but, you know, kind of take it easy. But I do like it that they're wanting to get in the gym on their own. I don't have to hammer them and force them in the gym. They're excited, and I think the summer was good for us. Again, we talked, and anytime you change up from a coach who's been there as long as Coach Rat has, and this is what the guys know and things like that, that there's always going to be that uncertainty, not just from the community standpoint, but the player standpoint. And I think the summer was good for us to kind of, I was on board last year, but it's a different role. It's a different feel and relationship. And I think that we had a successful summer. And I think that it helped build us and our expectations for the year.
Guys, just to get y'all involved a little bit, how's Coach Hatcher been as your head coach?
Yeah, it's been exciting. You know, his enthusiasm and his intensity that he was talking about, we see that every day, and we want to match it. And he was excited to join us last year, and I think that's definitely helped. We know what to expect now after him being on board last year.
Oh yeah, it's really fun with Coach. You know, he brings the fun. You know, he brings the intensity too. So.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of energy and motivation. He's a great coach we have. So I like him being around.
Yeah. Who's in your region this year, Coach?
It'll be Galesville, Cedar Bluff, JCA, and Coosa Christian.
So what do you expect from the other teams in the region?
Excuse me. Well, you know, I didn't see JCA or Coosa Christian at all last year. Coming over from Georgia, I really don't have a lot on them. I got game tape on Coosa Christian last year scouting another team, so I was able to kind of see what they played with last year. I know Galesville, I've seen them play a couple of times last year. They were scrappy, and I mean, I thought that they battled and tried to compete, and you know, the whole length of a game. Cedar Bluff, they played them during the summer. I know that they didn't really lose anybody, so they're going to be a tough draw this year for us. But like I said, I like the intensity that we brought this summer, and I feel like, you know, we can compete with any of them.
Guys, along those same lines, I mean, you're moving back down to 1A this year. I mean, just talk about the, you know, you played two years in 2A, going back down to 1A. I mean, just talk about the, you know, that aspect of things.
Well, it's different for sure, but I think the expectations are still there for us, and the competition is still there. It's a little different, you know. Different teams have different strengths, but the competition's certainly still there.
Oh yeah, I think we're
Hard's
ready for
going
it.
now, so that's good.
I think we're ready for it. I mean, ain't nothing we can't handle. So.
Yeah, we're down to 1A. We still got to go hard and beat everybody we can.
And I think that playing some of the teams that we played last year too, there's some really tough competition. Those experience that we have, like I said, we have a lot of key pieces coming back. You know, we can just take the experience from last year, and you know, again, like they said, no matter what division you play in, you always have a high bar set for yourself. And if you don't, you're not going to be very successful.
No, coming back, there's some guys, people that are watching, if you don't know, they'll be playing second round playoffs. Next Friday they'll host Coosa Christian, be a rematch of earlier in the year. But there's some guys still playing football. Now Cam does play. He's the leading tailback. He was our player of the week 1 week. But Jacob and John also like basketball, and you can't forget about Chapel. He's the little engine that could. Chap runs up and down that floor. So tell us about, you know, getting back with some of them. You know, what's that like? Brag on some of those you guys that you don't have with you.
Well, we have, like you said, we've got Chapel, Connor Bates, a couple guards coming back. That's just, I mean, their motors turn high all the time. Sometimes it's more, let's dial it back a little bit, but you love their intensity and effort they give. Excuse me. John and Jake, post presence down low. Toughness, and we got to have toughness. You got these three guys right here. They each have their own skill set. John Mark, shooter, hustled hard. Last year, he played with us on the JV group whenever we didn't have varsity. Same with Braxton, and I felt that was one of the best things for them because they went from either being on the bench during a varsity game, maybe a minute or two here, to where I think y'all were on the floor pretty much the whole game. And so they had to learn how to go from being a passive type player to feeling like I got to be aggressive. I'm one of the focal points and things like that. Cam brings toughness, grit to him. Expanded his range a little bit last year, but you know he's one who's always going to stick his nose in there.
Yeah.
Let's see who else am I missing? Cole, got Cole who doesn't play football. He's going to be a guard for us. Same thing with the JV last year. I put the ball in his hands a lot last year because you know we knew we were losing Cooper and Chaz and some of our ball handlers. So Chapel probably handled the duties with the ball the most, and you know I've got Cole who back him up and can handle it. Who else on football? I think that's it, right? Noah Barber. I forgot about Noah Barber. Noah Barber made huge steps this summer. I thought he was probably the most improved from the end of last year to this year. Just, you know, I talked to him. I said, you know, I'll probably play on JV a little bit so you can learn how to be aggressive with the ball and stuff. But the way he played this summer, when I talked to him about a week ago, I said, we might move that time frame up a little bit if you keep progressing like you're doing.
And his football skills are great. Now, how old's Noah?
He's
sophomore.
So he's 16?
He's actually, I believe he just turned 15 this summer. He's actually a young sophomore.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we like watching him play football. He's a good player.
Is he number 9? Okay, I called out the wrong name when he played.
JB game.
No, they're varsity.
Jamboree?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, when they come to Cedar Bluff.
Oh, okay.
So at the end of the year, what do you hope
Exactly.
Spring Garden fans,
Yeah.
what do you hope their impressions are of y'all's team?
I hope that they just think that feel like we competed. Like, you know, when again, new coaching change, there's a lot of people in the community who don't know who I am and don't know what to expect from this team. You know, we lost 4 key pieces last year, and then you lose a coach. I have no idea what their expectations are, other than they expect these guys to play their guts out like they've been in the years past and be successful there. So just carry on the tradition that's been set before us. And that's one thing that I feel like coming in after someone like Coach Rat, I've heard you got the biggest shoes to fill and this and that. And I mean, I don't feel the pressure from that, but I mean, it's true. But by the same token, when you have a coach like that who's instilled a culture into these guys who have bought in, just carry on the tradition, because it's a good tradition to have.
I made a post on Facebook one time, and I was joking, and I said the worst job in America would be following Ricky Austin. But now I was talking more about girls, but he has coached the boys for a long time, too.
Right.
So, like he said, I understand what you're saying. That's a tough role. But
Well, it's one that I welcome, again, because your choices are to either go coach somewhere where there's not high expectations or coach where there are. And I'll take the ones with the high expectations any day of the week, because if you're setting the bar low from the get-go, you're not really having to push yourself to reach your goals.
Yes.
And our goals are going to be set high enough where we're not going to reach them just by stepping on the court. Like, we're going to have to work. And if we're going to win a Friday night game, we've got to win Wednesdays and Thursdays practice before we get there.
Right.
And so that's my expectations going into every game, every practice. So, again, the bar is set high, but I think that our guys can reach that.
So are we gonna see a lot of 3-pointers, or are we gonna see a lot of controlled motion? Any hints you wanna give?
All the coaches are watching. They're lining up in their chair right now.
We're going to shoot 100% from outside, and
That's a great game.
it is. It depends on who we're playing. You know, I love breaking down film. I'll get the kids to bed at 9, 10, 11, whenever they go to sleep, and then I'm back up and I'm filming until 1 or 2 in the morning. Like, I love breaking down film. And so, depending on who we play, who their personnels are, things like that, some games we'll play fast, some games we'll, if we got a size, I think we're going to have a lot of size this year. And so, if we have a mismatch in size, we'll play to that strength. But defensively, I plan on mixing it up, getting in people's space, their space, and, you know, just creating chaos in a way, just because I want us to be very, like I said, hard-nosed. And so, we're going to do everything we can to get after it. And if it's full court, it's full court. And if it's half court, it just depends on the flow of the game and who we're playing.
Yeah, I think especially for Cam being a senior, and for Chap and some of the older guys, getting back in that region play or area play, you know, to play in the Cedar Bluffs and the teams, you know these guys, like you talk to them all the time. I think it'd be pretty cool to kind of get back in that, to play kids that you know that they're from around here. I think that'd be good. Be good for the county. Thank you. Mr. Earl?
You survived your sophomore year head coach pretty well.
I did. You know,
You and I are the only one to get that.
Coach Mitchell was my coach when I was a freshman and sophomore in high school. So, and there's quite a few stories. I survived sophomore year. He survived a hurdle running around the cheerleading mat. So, you know.
Oh goodness, I forgot about that.
We did.
You got it up. Yes, you step in that, Mr. Ryan. You open that up.
Well, I think he was showing us how to run or something one time, like with the effort, and the cheerleaders had the mat rolled up and turned on their side, and he was running, and he tried to hurdle it, and I think he missed it by about 4 inches. And you got a big 6'7" coach, bro. It was a big fall.
They busted up laughing.
It was a big fall.
All right, guys. We appreciate you guys for coming, and safe travels. And football team will be out there Friday to check you guys out. So we'll catch y'all guys then. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you.
thanks, guys. Good luck.
Welcome, Lady Wildcats. Good to see you all again. Some of you we do know, some we don't. So introduce yourself and what grade you're in.
I'm Caitlin St. Clair and I'm a junior.
I'm Zoe Haney, I'm a junior.
Kennedy Henderson, junior.
Okay, we got some juniors up here,
We got
Coach.
some juniors.
Good to see you. So how's things been going working wise, and you get in a little bit of practice, so everything's going well?
Yeah, we've been working hard.
Yes,
so-
I come by one day, and let me tell you, they were doing some drills like stuff I hadn't seen. She has really dribbling drills, and they're working really hard. The audience watching at home, they really are. I promise you.
Well, that's one thing we hope that we're known for, and the girls know going into it to play for us.
So tell us
that,
about some of
that
the
happens.
girls and position
Okay.
wise, because I know these are some new faces.
Yes.
We all know that you're going to have a lot of new faces. this
Right.
year.
We're going to be
Way
totally
climb.
different. We're going to be totally different. We lost 6 seniors last year, so we've been trying to figure out who we are and who can do what. And so up here, you know, everybody knows Caitlin because she's been with us for a while, and she's a consistent starter from last year. We have Zoe, who's going to surprise a lot of people, I think. She really loves this game and really works at it, and actually has a jump shot like a boy. So, and that's hard to find in a girl. And she's really talented, and we expect a lot out of her. And then Kennedy, she started some last year, sometimes not, sometimes she did. And in the post, we're going to be expecting a lot from her inside. And she's got a nose for the ball like a magnet as far as like rebounding. So that's going to be fun to watch. And we've got,
I'm not hitting her in the nose,
no, she just knows where it's coming off of the goal. So I do have 2 seniors that are, today's our state cross country meet, and so my seniors are there supporting them. They have all year, and so I said, you know, let's not stop now because they're going to be competing for state today. So I have JC and Chloe Stevens, the sisters. One's a senior, one's a junior. That'll be playing hard for us and giving us good minutes and hopefully a lot of production this year. And then we have a new to our roster, Sharina Foster is going to be a senior that's not played for me before. So, and then I have 8 juniors. I just got 1 10th grader, 2 9th graders, and then we got some babies that'll be joining us in and out throughout the years from 8th grade. So it's going to be interesting. We're trying to figure out who we are.
Yes.
What year? Okay.
Tell us about the progress over the summer. What are some of the things you have been working on, and how you think the advancements have been?
Y'all want to say anything?
Go ahead.
Okay. Y'all talk about summer. Go ahead, Caitlin.
I was kind of scared because we did lose 4 starters, but after the summer, I'm feeling way more hopeful for this season than I was before.
We do a lot of work in the summer. We do a lot of play dates. That's what we needed this year, is playing as much as possible, just to try to get in the flow and see who's going to do what for us.
Yeah, because she feels like kind of one of the leaders out there this year. You know, so how do you take on that? Sort of like your team mom leader, sort of this year. You know, how's that been for you? Are you taking that on well, or are you nervous about it?
I'm not really nervous about it because I have a lot of experience playing basketball, so I'm not nervous.
No, you shouldn't be. You're going to do great.
And she does a lot of the travel basketball too, you know, in the spring, and handles that. So, I mean, that's intense and a lot of pressure. So she should be able to handle that just fine. But everybody's we're going to have different roles, and that's going to be the major thing is, you know, people that were just role players last year and just, you know, came off the bench, and now we're dependent on them a lot more to do different things and to be producing some offense for us. So everybody's got different roles this year.
I know it's 2 different sports, but I know several of these girls play volleyball. You know, just talk about, you know, those girls getting that experience in volleyball and carrying that over into basketball, and, you know, getting that cohesiveness and everything together.
I had just told Caitlin I hope he doesn't bring up volleyball because I have not gotten over it yet, and I've not talked to them yet about volleyball because I'm pretty ticked off still about how we finished in volleyball. So, do y'all want to answer that question? Okay. I do have a lot of the same girls. Hopefully, we will learn to finish better than we did there because I do not feel like we squeezed the orange in volleyball like we should have at the end and went as far as we should have.
Well, just talk about that, maybe serving as some motivation. Any of y'all?
We definitely have to step up on the court, and we can't fold under pressure because we did in volleyball. But yeah.
Recognizing where you've made mistakes as a player, and she's a good player. I've noticed since, well, both of them since they were little kids who played baseball a lot of them. That's a good thing to know, you know, as a coach, when you go out there on the court and you don't even have to really say, you did, and then they say, I did this, and you're like, yes, you know, so that's very mature and learning in her part too, and all your other players that recognize, you know, where you mess up and you're able to move on and learn from it, that they're actually learning, and it makes your coaching job a little easier is what I'm saying.
Yes, and these girls, the ones that don't have as much experience as the others, are going to learn how to handle in-the-game situations and handle pressure. You know, they haven't been in that tied game with a minute left type situations, and so we got to learn how to, who's their go-to under that situation, and what your role is to help us be successful. Because I mean, we have high expectations. We're not going to have a down year or a rebuilding year. We're going to be expecting to win.
Sure.
So we've got to figure out who can do what to help us to get there.
Tell us about your region.
Exactly what
Okay. In our region, we have Collinsville. We have the fire competition against Collinsville. We have Gaston, and we have Fife. It's a little different than volleyball. We had West End instead of Fife. In volleyball, it's strange. So basketball, we have Fife, and so they'll be feisty. And I know Heather Powell will have them playing hard, because I mean, she's one of my best friends, and she pushes them. Yep. So that'll be a challenge as well. So, and we always expect it to be fiery with Collinsville.
So what do you expect as far as, I mean, do teams in your regions play full court a lot, or what are some of the things you would expect to see out of them?
Gaston has a new coach, Ebony Ferguson, that played there and went on to play at Mississippi State, and I know she'll have them playing harder and more aggressively, and so I'm looking forward to good competition there, and we know Collinsville's gonna, I mean, they still have some good players that will challenge us, and they're going to play good defense, and then with Fife, I know Heather will do a good job with them, and they'll play whatever defense they need to for the moment, and they'll do a good job scouting. So I'm expected to be competitive, and then our cross area is ridiculous, because we're still cross with Pisgah and Eider, and Eider's really strong this year, North Sand Mountain. I mean, that section, our cross area is what is ridiculously tough as well.
Okay?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Tinker, was she a senior?
No.
She's back again?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
They look really good this summer, so that's going to be a challenge.
So what can we expect? Will we have a lot of three-pointers from you guys? Will we have a lot of full court pressure?
Y'all looking to pull the trigger
Ladies,
on
what
it?
do you think?
What do you think?
What are you thinking you guys will look like?
I'm not a strong 3-point shooter, but that's
Now
all
she's
I'm gonna
talking down.
That's all I'm gonna say.
In practice, we've been firing a lot of threes. We've been firing a lot of threes, but I mean, typically we like to push the ball down the floor. We like to take good shots and try to limit our opponents to one uncomfortable shot. And that's going to be one of our biggest goals for this year, is just not giving the opponents what they want, making them take some kind of shot that's not in their comfort zone, and then just trying to really box them out and just giving them that one shot. So our style may change this year based on who we're playing and what we need personnel-wise. So
Give us a date so I can put on.
we play Tuesday.
Really? So
Yes.
They can come watch you girls play
Tuesday at Sand Rock, we play DAR. We have games this upcoming week. I mean, we're starting up right out of the gate right now. So we play DAR on Tuesday, and then we have Thursday, we have Sardis coming to Sand Rock, and it's just girls' games.
What year is this for you, Coach?
23.
23.
So what are some of the tournaments you guys are in?
Okay. We go to a Geraldine tournament at Thanksgiving. You know, we've got the Invitational, and then we're going to Panama City right after Christmas, and it's going to be a really challenging tournament with really good competition to really push us and see what we've got. And by then, I hope that we're figuring out who we are and getting deeper. That's our weakness right now. And the girls will agree with me that we have been looking from summer till now trying to we keep throwing people in there trying to see who's going to work with us to make us a little bit deeper on the bench. So maybe by December we'll have that figured out. We'll have some girls step it up, and we'll know who's going to help us at the end and make a good run at the end.
you know, we talked about shooters a few minutes ago. I mean, just talk about the inside game.
Okay. Well,
Is that your job?
Kennedy is a really good post player, and I'm hoping that she's going to step it up and show people that this year. And I'm hoping that inside, I mean, you can't guard her one-on-one, or she's going to make a move and score. Hopefully this year she's going to show people that. As far as depth in the post, we don't have as much depth in the post, so we may have to do more of, and we're running more of a one-post system as far as in four guards. So we're hoping that Kennedy's going to give us good inside presence, which will help to take some of the pressure off of the shooters outside.
Kennedy, you look like you're ready to say something. Go ahead.
Yes, please.
Yes, she does. No, I was thinking. Are you excited about the season coming ahead?
I really am, yeah.
She looks ready to play, Coach. I mean, she's locked in. Tuesday, I mean, y'all get to play Tuesday.
I know.
I'm excited.
This bunch is not as wild as that bunch you brought last year.
Listen. That's a different bunch. That group of 6 seniors, they were very talkative and very energetic and stuff. So this one's, we're trying to figure out who they are and getting them to come out of their shell a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll do this every year, so we want to see you guys come back and
See, they're juniors, so they have to come back and do this
come back
next year.
and brag on how good a season you had and remember this learning process.
That's it.
So at the end of the year, what do you hope Sand Rock fans take away from seeing you guys play? Very impressive to do.
At the end of the year, I hope the fans say, man, that was fun to watch. They are fun to watch. I can't wait till next game so we can go watch those girls play hard. They're disciplined. That's what I want people to say, is that is a disciplined bunch of girls. They play hard every game. They give it all they got, and they did the best that they could with what God's given them. That's what I want them to say.
Good.
Anything else? Anybody? Good? Everybody's okay?
Is your husband gonna be at the games?
Do I have to claim him whenever he's
Does he get into those like he does the football?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. We keep him on the side, and I try not to sit with him at like basketball games, so referees don't see us together and associate us as together. We don't allow him at volleyball games anymore because he's in football mode there, where he screams like it's a football game. So I'm like, you can't come to those. But basketball, he will.
That's good stuff. Well, ladies, good luck Tuesday. Go see the Sand Rock girls play. They're at home.
Yes.
Go there and check them out. Kind of some new faces out there, and go holler and cheer for them. And good luck on the season. We'll see you around for sure.
Okay. Y'all got anything else to say? Come on.
Anything? Nothing?
They're too quiet. All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. You guys.
All right.
Mike is hot. All right, welcome back. Coach Blackwell, it's good to see you again. Another media day here for Cherokee County. Brought some Sand Rock boys. Does all these guys play basketball, or some of them just help with the team and they're water boys?
Well, they're all going to wear a uniform.
Okay,
I'll put it
good,
that way.
good,
This
good.
is, 6 of our 8 seniors we have. We have a big group this year, so.
This will be St. Clair's 8th year starting. It started since, I'm joking.
Yeah, he and Caden both were pulled up at the end of their 8th grade year.
Great players, man. I know the
Right.
boys well. They're good. They're good ball players. Good boys. So introduce yourselves. Most people know who you are, but tell us who you are and what grade you're in.
I'm Jacob St. Clair, and I'm a senior.
I'm Bradley Jackson. I'm a senior.
I'm Caden Justice, and I'm a senior.
I'm Sloan Wood, and I'm a senior.
Brian Giles, and I'm a senior.
Ben Dale, and I'm a senior.
It's a good-looking group there, Coach. So from last year to now, this is a good-looking group, man. I'm excited for you guys this year. So tell us a little bit about what's been going on since then.
Well, we were not happy with really how last year ended. You know, we made the playoffs again. That was our 3rd year in a row to make the playoffs, but 2nd year in a row we lost to the eventual state championship
Get tough
winner.
draw every year, man.
Yeah, and that's what it's about our turn. That's kind of you know, 2 years ago we lost by 5, I think it was, to Midfield, and they go on 2 games later to win the state. Last year we lost to Section. They go on to win the state championship. So, and hopefully these guys have put in the time and doing what we need to do to, you know, maybe somebody saying next year they lost to us and that was the state championship winner.
I like your chances.
But there's a lot of basketball before we get there.
Sure.
You know, and it starts Tuesday night against DAR. So.
Okay.
Coach, obviously, like you said, senior laden group. I mean, just talk about how invaluable that is. I mean, these guys, you know, they know the court backwards and forwards. Just talk about how much of an advantage that is.
It can be an advantage and it can be a disadvantage. It comes down to their attitudes. I know our girls just got through talking about understanding their role. And there's 8 seniors, and that's not all that's on the team. So, you know, you're looking at dealing with 10 and 11 different people. And, you know, you have 1 basketball. You can only start 5 at a time. So these guys have to understand, like our girls talked about, these guys have to understand what's their role, what can they do to make Sandrock better, not necessarily what they do to make themselves better. And if we do those things, then we can be successful. And basketball knowledge is not the problem. And I hope there is not a problem. I don't want to insinuate there is, but you're right. They do understand the game of basketball. We just have to make sure that we understand the idea that basketball is a team sport. And I think they will. I think we did that last year. But, you know, when you become a senior, this is your last go-around, then sometimes, you know, if you're not careful, you can listen to friends, you can listen to parents, you can listen to people, and they can lead you down that wrong road. These guys have to understand, they have to lead our team and make sure our team understands that if we want to be successful, we don't need 8 different leading scorers.
Yeah.
We need to understand who's a scorer, who's a rebounder, who's a defender, who can make the pass, who can do whatever, who can sit on the bench when it's their time not to play and be a good team leader. And if we do those things, I think we can be successful.
Guys, like Coach was saying, I mean, you guys have been close, you know, losing to defending state champions and that sort of thing. I mean, just talk about that, you know, serving as motivation that, you know, maybe it's your turn for that path to happen for you guys. I mean, just talk about, you know, aspiring to get to that championship.
Why not us?
That's a good answer. I like it. Yeah, why not? St. Clair, I mean, y'all been doing this for a long time, and, you know, y'all got a good team, so why not y'all this year?
I feel like it's our turn.
Yeah.
What they've talked a lot about this summer, and I'll kind of reiterate some things I've heard from them. Most of them have had a basketball in their hands since they were 3, 4, 5 years old. So time on the court is not the problem. It goes back to the other things that kind of surrounds the team. A lot of times it's what happens before and after the game is actually being played. Your attitude coming in, are you going to take care of yourselves? You're going to eat right? You're going to get plenty of rest at night? You're going to hang out with the right people? You know, I don't need to be asking, are you going to, and there is a gnat running in front of my face, so if y'all wonder what I'm doing.
He's not crazy.
They have to understand that, you know, if you got a big ball game, you can't stay up till to midnight or 1 o'clock the night before a game. So it's those exterior factors that they're going to have to make sure, or we're going to sacrifice. I don't have to go tell them to make 500 free throws, to make 1,000 shots a day or every other day. They're going to do those things. It's the exterior factors that they're going to have to make sure that they handle. And that comes from leadership. I'm not their parents. I can't make them do that. But if they will handle the exterior factors, no jealousy, no selfishness, play as a team, then I do think we have a chance to be successful. And we've given them a good schedule. We start out with DAR. I don't know if they're 4 or 5A. Our second game's Gadsden City. They're either 6 or 7A. You know, tournaments we play, the only 2A teams we play basically are the ones in our area. Basically, everybody else is 5, 6, 7A basketball. I know girls were talking about going to Panama City at New Year's, and you're talking about we're playing teams that have more in their senior class we have in our whole school. You know, we've got, I don't even think we have 700 students. We'll be playing teams that have 1,000 people in their graduating class. So, you know, I don't know what our win-loss record will be, but we're trying to put them in a position that will get them prepared to win a state championship.
Tell us some of the advancements you saw this summer. I guess tell us a little bit about how summer practice went.
Well, several different things. Now, I want to brag on some of these guys. You know, Ben Dale down at the end, he played last year. He kind of swapped positions and shared playing time with Jacob Corneo, and we know Jacob's not with us any longer. Anybody that's paying attention to high school football realizes he's not at Sandrock. So Ben he's got the opportunity to really get a lot of playing time this summer, and he's really excelled. Sloan Wood did not play last year. He's played all the way up. He came back this year as a senior, and he's going to be a very good advantage in addition to our team. Sloan's he's a 2-guard. He's a good shooter, but his mentality is he wants to pull every rebound. And that's the attitude I'm talking about. You know, you've got to understand, yeah, I might can hit a 3, but I'm playing on a team with 1 or 2 of the best 3-point shooters in the state of Alabama. So you know what, instead of worrying about how many 3s I get, somebody needs to be the leading rebounder.
Sure.
And just because I'm a guard doesn't mean I can't be a leading rebounder.
Sure.
So, you know, when you develop the attitude these guys have, I think if they will keep that attitude and understand that, we play that way. So that's some things I saw this summer. So
It sounds like, just as of right now, it just sounds like, you know, you're being the coach and coaching them, and you're doing the thing, you're just saying, all right, guys, I've built this for you. Here it is. Now it's up to you what you want to do with it. Are you going to hold each other accountable? Make sure you're going to bed, eating right. So, yeah, it's kind of.
you could take out the I built this for you.
You put in
I
your
haven't
time.
built anything. So.
You put in your time.
Well,
That's your
every
time.
coach should. If you're a coach and you're a head coach and you don't put in the time, you shouldn't be the head coach.
Right, yeah.
You know, everybody's got to. I can't, as a head coach, ask these guys to make exceptions and sacrifice time if I myself am not going to sacrifice time. But you're right. It's ultimately it's going to be what they do.
Tell us a little bit about your region play, what you expect from them.
Well, good. You look at. I know our girls coach talk. Us in Collinsville every year is a battle. We don't get to play them except basically when we're in their area, and it's been a battle every year. Now Gaston's a different story. I know they got a new girls coach. They also have a new boys coach. He just happened to come from Gadsden City, and his son was a 9th grade starter and the best 3-point shooter on their team. And of course, he brought him. And they have a couple additions on their Gaston team that come from other schools, and so it's not going to be the Gaston of old. It'll be it'll be a new Gaston basketball team. Fife, of course, 2 years ago they won state championship. They got height. We watched them play this summer. They've got height. They have a new coach. They're going to play hard. They beat us once last year. And then, of course, you're crossing with, you know, section. They won state championship last year.
Are they going to be the same this year, Howard?
I hope not. I hope they're nowhere close.
Are they have a bunch of seniors?
No, they lost most of their seniors. Most of their team were seniors last year. So, but you're still playing that North Sand Mountain. They're going to average 100 points every year. So before you even get to Jacksonville, you've got to play that type of team, that type of caliber. And hopefully our schedule will prepare us for that.
Are you planning on letting the guys shoot some 3s this year?
No, sir, I hope they hit some threes. You know, anybody can shoot them. I hope we actually hit some of them, so. But now, we're a little different. We've got a 10th grader, Jake Middlebrooks, has come up, and between Jake and Bradley, I think our post game will be a little better than it's been in several, well, since I've been here. This is my 5th year as being the head coach. That's not me, Shannon, that's your phone. But anyway, I think we've relied a lot on the 3 the last several years, and we're going to hit some, I hope. But I think our post game is going to be a little different this year too. I hope so. We've done that all summer.
Yeah, seeing Caden work out this summer, I watched all Brick Boy does stuff for him. I know all them, and so I watch his stuff. Guys, if y'all haven't seen it, I'll brag on Brick Boy. Go find on Instagram, and you can see any Caden stuff. And just seeing him practice a little bit the other day, it's different. He's going to be different. So if you thought he was pretty good last year, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to put it out there. He really looked good this summer. He's really improved a lot. He's put in a lot of work, I'll say that, that's for sure. He's been on that court a lot. And St. Clair too, I seen him up there playing.
I agree. And what y'all probably don't see too is a lot of these guys that play football, they will finish a football practice during the season. They'll come up, get in the gym, and they'll shoot some free throws on Sunday afternoon. Some of those times they'll get in and shoot. So I think the guys, for the most part, are doing what they're supposed to do of on the court stuff, which leads back to what we said a while ago. It's the thing that's going to determine whether we're successful or not is what you do before and after you play.
So by the end of the year, what are the impressions you hope people who watch the Sandrock basketball game will have of you guys?
Hard work. We're not going to be the most talented, most athletic team that we step on the floor with every time. I mean, our second game's against Gadsden City. I can promise you, we're not going to be the most athletic team. But kind of like what a girl said, if you put the work in and you play as a team and you follow the discipline and fundamentals that you're taught, then you can be successful. And that's what I hope people see, that we work hard, we play hard, we play as a team, and we stick to our fundamentals.
Now, this is your 5th year being the varsity coach?
Yes, sir.
You've had a good run, haven't you?
We have. We've had some good players.
Sounds like y'all keep it going this year.
I hope so.
You've always played tough schedules, though, have you not?
Try to. Even back when I was a girls' coach, I didn't worry about wins and losses. And I was at Glencoe 19 years as a girls' coach, and I didn't really care what my record was as a coach, but I expected to get the playoffs every year.
Right.
So.
Guys, what would y'all like to add?
Here it is.
This year in practice, our energy is just completely different. In practice last year compared to this year, we're just not the same team. I think that if we keep bringing the energy that we're bringing like we are this year, then we'll go a really long way this year.
Absolutely, I agree. Logan, add to the team, Mr. Wood, what do you have to bring to the team this year?
Sloan.
Yeah, Sloan Logan, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I hope I didn't call him Logan. Older brother, I
Yes, I know.
struggle with that
I
sometimes.
know them both too well. I get them. What do you
Just
have
hope to
add?
bring more to the defense of the team, not as much offense, and just help them out in any way I can to bring us as far as we can go.
That's good. Mr. Jackson?
I mean, it's just what they said. We got to come together as a team, and we got to hustle and put in the work every game, every practice. And we don't do those things, we won't be successful. But if we do, then I mean, we can be a really good team.
Yeah, I like the chances.
We need to recognize Mr. Giles there. How you
Yeah,
doing?
absolutely.
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Can't complain.
What have you got to add this year?
I just think as a team, like there's no one on our team that doesn't think we can't go all the way. I think everybody on the team thinks we can. So even the sophomores, knows we can.
Yeah, we've been waiting on this class to come through for a year or two since we've got to know you a little more. We had you on the show back 2 years ago or so. And, I picked some of these guys out when they were younger. Said, man, you got a player there. Now some of these guys are seniors. So yeah, we're excited for you guys this year. Y'all got anything? Good.
I'm good.
Good. Sandrock boys, have a good season this year. We'll definitely see you guys out there. Tuesday night, go see them play. Tuesday night. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck with Mark.
like it's hot. We're ready. Coach Nelson, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you for coming to our 3rd annual media days for the basketball for the ladies, and we know most of these faces, so they're familiar. So tell us about yourself and coming in first, and then girls, introduce yourself and what grade you're in.
Okay, I'm Jeff Nelson, and last spring we ended up with a opening in basketball, and they talked to me about it, and I'm like, I've had all these kids in class. I can come out of not coaching basketball for a little while to work with these great kids, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
I think you're excited about it. He seems like he's young again.
Yeah, it will do that too.
He has. He's done it before. You know how much basketball? You've coached a good bit of basketball before, right?
Yeah, but it's been a few years.
Okay, ladies, tell us your names and grade.
My name is Gracie Dawson, and I'm a junior.
My name's Delaney Coker. I'm a senior.
My name's Shauna Epps. I'm a senior.
Shauna what?
Shauna Epps. I'm a senior.
Oh, I knew her name.
Yeah, we know all of them. Well, girls, just talk about Coach Nelson, his style, and how everything's been going.
Oh no.
No, I'm just messing with him. I think it's going pretty good, actually. There's definitely a lot more discipline this year than we've had in the past at least 2 years. Practice is definitely a lot more exciting now that everybody acts like they actually want to be there and they're enjoying themselves. I feel like we're getting a lot more done this year. Yeah, I feel the same way. They're not very talkative. I don't really care. I'm a social person.
And I've had Shonda in class, and she does like to talk and share her opinion, which is a good thing. I'm not being negative about it.
Sounds like you've got a vocal leader on your team there. I mean, just talk about that.
Well, Sean, I look at the team and I look at my roster and I feel like I've got seven starters on there, and then we're gonna have to develop some depth behind those. But Shonda and Laney have played a lot of basketball, and one of our goals is gonna be, can we get the ball to Shonda? And if we can get her posted up, trying to get the ball to Shonda. She is a vocal leader, and you come to a ball game, you're gonna hear her. And so, but excited to have that. Laney has played a lot of ball also, and she's been running point for the last couple of years, I think, and handling the ball a lot. Gracie's going to be one that's kind of going to have to be kind of a multi-use player, where she's inside, outside, or wherever we need her. And then we've got Emma Gibbons that's also going to be running one of our guards, and we're kind of excited to have a couple of ball handlers.
Coach, I've heard from one of your coworkers that y'all been working real hard. I'm serious. I mean, y'all put in a lot of time. Is that true?
Yeah, we're trying to, I'm coaching football too, and trying to work around football practice. And then last week, I'm trying to work around some kids with the flu, and so we got some kids that have been sick, and so we're just trying to get everything where we can get in rhythm. And it's kind of been.
You had a good summer too, didn't y'all do a lot this summer?
Yeah, I came in kind of late, and we got us some playing games. And I told them when we started, I said my goal in the playing games this summer was just to get to know them as players, and kind of get some idea of what we can do.
Now that the season is starting, what are some of the basketball emphasis you're going to be having? What are the principles you really want your team to do well with?
We're gonna have to box out. We're gonna have to try to limit to one shot, and that's we're gonna probably be playing a lot of zone, because we don't have a whole lot of depth, and so we're just gonna have to make sure we're disciplined and we stay in our zones.
I like a zone. If the other team don't shoot well.
I know, and so we got you gotta have.
I know you never run into that for some reason.
What, the other team shooting well?
No, not shooting well. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, kids practicing a lot more. When's the first time y'all gonna take the court together? We can let everybody know when to see.
Okay, we'll be at Gaston on the 15th, and our first home game is the 18th against Galesville.
tell us a little bit about what you expect from some of the other teams in the region.
Well, Spring Garden. Cedar Bluff, they're going to be kind of young, but I think they've got some kids that can play in some of the younger grades. They're going to be pretty competitive. Don't know a whole lot about JCA, and Coosa's going to be pretty scrappy.
Do you expect much full court press?
I expect a lot of pressure, yeah. I think we'll be seeing a lot of pressure.
Do you guys expect to shoot many threes, or does it just kind of depend?
It's going to kind of depend. We're going, if we're able to get the ball inside to Shonda, we're going to have some people that are going to have to be able to pop a little bit from outside too. And so we're going to kind of focus on, and that's what I've talked to some of them about, is you're going to have to be ready to take a shot. You're open for a shot, you're looking for a shot, take your shot. And I have a lot of confidence in several of the players. Okay, so we got Shonda and probably, and also Sydney Smith will be inside. And then I've got some that are going to be Jaden Dobbins is also going to have to be one that's going to be a multi-purpose. And I'm like, I got confidence in you shooting the ball. You get open for a shot, take it. Gracie, you get open for a shot, take it. Laney, I've already talked to her about shooting. You get open, take a shot when you're open.
Ladies, what are some of the things you guys do in practice that you really think help you be better basketball players?
Anything competitive. I feel like if there's competition involved, it pushes everybody to actually play as hard as they can in practice. We do a lot of 3-on-2, 2-on-1, so it's conditioning and also shooting and just trying to get the ball up and down the floor. I think anything competitive helps you a lot better in sports.
Good answer.
Yep. Girls?
Y'all's turn.
What do you do in practice that makes
If you can get anything out of Laney, you're doing good.
Anything that we're always moving and not just standing around, I think that helps a lot with us too.
You remember the basketball coaches that used to, you just stand there and you listen to them talk?
While they smoke cigarettes.
Do you guys have any tournaments you're going to outside of the invitation or county tournaments?
We'll be hosting a tournament in December 27th, 28th.
Tell us about it.
Well, we're trying to I'm not sure what to tell you about it right now, just to be honest with you. We're trying to get a feel on everything.
And the formation stages.
And formation stages, and right now I think we got 4 teams that are there. The boys, I think, have got 7, 8 teams coming. So it's kind of in the formation stages right now.
At the end of the year, whenever Galesville fans see you guys play, what are some of the impressions that you want them to have of your team?
I want them to say that we competed for 4 quarters, and that fun to watch because they're going to compete for the whole ball game, and that's what I want people to come away with an impression of. That, hey, that team likes to compete. They like to play.
I thought they competed well last year. I thought so. The games I went to.
And I thought they did too, and that's what I want to continue competing.
And you got a lot returning, right? Did y'all lose anybody?
Yeah, lost Peyton and Starr.
And Paisley.
Paisley, oh yeah.
And Paisley.
Now the Gibbons, she'll get up down the court, she'll play and run and go, and she'll do it. She'll get after it.
She will get after it.
Yes.
We also have and I told you I had 7. I've mentioned 6 of them. Aubrey Peak also is going to be kind of a versatile player, inside, outside, and she can be a scorer at times.
Girls, do you prefer playing against a zone defense, or do you prefer the man-to-man defense?
I prefer men, but
I'd much rather be in a zone. I feel like some of the schools that we play, they're just quicker than we are, so I feel like a zone's a lot better. Gonna get beat a lot more if you're playing man on man. That's not everybody we play, but some of them definitely beating us up and down the court.
Coach,
I feel like zone gives you more of an opportunity.
Who Who have you got helping you this year?
I've got Coach Hester, Caitlin Hester is going to be, she's helping, she's running the JV, doing a good job. She's got a good number out. They've played a couple of games and they've been really scrappy. And so she's my assistant that's going to be doing a lot for us.
Now, speaking of her, I got to go over there and meet her. And when I went out on the court to meet, I think you had pointed me that way, or maybe Coach Knapp had. I couldn't pinpoint the difference between her and the players because she's so young, and I didn't know. And then I heard her coach or say something in coaching, you know, and so I thought, okay, she's the coach. And just talking to her and getting to know her a little bit. Now she played at Plainview.
Yeah, and she can still play.
She can still play.
We had a student faculty
Yes,
ball game, and she can still play.
How'd that go? Did you score? You get 10, 12 for the
Who,
night?
me?
Yes.
Oh, I watched.
Oh,
I watched. I'm a few years past those playing days.
But Coach Hester, now guys that are watching, you need to go check these out. Go check the girls out and watch them play. She was a player, and watching her coach, and I think it's her lingo and how she communicates with the girls, and just that I was there for a day or two when y'all played, and I think y'all get her. How do y'all feel about it? You know, being around her. She kind of seems like one of y'all.
Yeah, she's a has-been, so she's not, I mean, she's been in the same situation as us as being a female coach, so it's not like, I feel like sometimes a lot of guy coaches are scared to get loud with some of our girl players because of the way that they may react, but to an extent, that's what you need. So when there's not enough discipline because the coaches are scared, hey, I may lose a player over this, then and you have her there, she doesn't really care. She's just going to say what needs to be said and gets...
Yeah, and she's a winner. To play at Plainview, she's won a lot of basketball games. So obviously she's a good player. She's been coached well, so she passes that along to you guys. So, yeah. We're excited to see you girls hit the court.
If you haven't ordered team shoes yet, you're missing a great opportunity if you don't get shoes like those sparkly shoes right there.
The Bedazzle Converse.
Wouldn't that be something?
The Bedazzle Converse, yes. I can see those making a
Laying in
comeback.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, no
Why
other
not?
team in the state has that.
Why not, Dan?
That's just her.
It would really be. Well,
Sean, did you
seriously.
still work at Chow? No, what?
We don't have to talk about it, that's okay.
I can't think of the name of it. KT5.
I do.
That's a good place.
Yeah, it is a good place. Mr. Roy, you good? Good. We good.
Look forward to seeing you guys.
Yeah,
play.
absolutely. Yeah, Coach Nelson, good to see you.
You too.
Ladies, thank y'all for coming. Good luck.
Come here, Coach.
Mic is hot. We are live and ready. Coach Brandon, I almost called him Kobe. I don't want to be disrespectful.
That's
He's
fine.
Coach, guys. Make sure good to see all you guys here, and glad you can make it safely without wrecking. His boy had a Pee Wee game this morning, so he's trying to get here in a hurry. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Guys, introduce yourself and what grade you're in.
Braden Sharp, junior,
Tanner Eads, senior. Kyler Bradley, junior.
Tanner, I thought you were a junior.
No,
I did not know that.
we got to keep you up to date then.
No, I'm sorry.
Mr. Rowley?
Tell us how the summer went and things that you're emphasizing, Coach, as the years approaching.
I thought the summer went great. The style of play that we have, they wasn't quite ready for it yet this summer, and it showed. First half of games we looked really good. Second half of games we looked like we couldn't get up and down the floor, but I expected that. But we did. We were very competitive, and every game we played, I think this summer, that I don't think there was any that I was like, that's just, we're out of this one. Looked really good though, and going forward, they've already seen a couple practices begging me to please stop running them so much. So we're excited about this year though.
So you referenced your style of play. Is it up-tempo?
I've heard some of the coaches today say offense, they look at what teams are doing. No, we are 150 mile an hour on offense all the time. Our goal is 90 shots a game. If we could shoot 63s a game, I'd be happy with it. Defense is where I look at it and say, okay, we'll see defensively what we're going to do based off what other teams are doing. But offensively, our goal is to get up and down the floor. The way we see it, the more shots you get up, you can shoot 30% and shoot 40 shots, and it's horrible. You shoot 30% and you shoot 90, you can put points on the board. So we're going to get shots up, and they know that.
Loyola Marymount send the 2 and the 3 to the 3s?
It is. Okay. It is, and I know we've been talking. Valley Head is where I came from last year, and we played them this year. And me and their head coach are good friends, and we already have said it is going to be a full-blown track meet that night, and we cannot wait for it. We're excited.
They do the same thing.
They do, and we're so excited about it because it's
106 to 104 final.
So no offensive, no half-court offense.
if we have to get set up in a half-court offense, they know it. I can't stand it. I'm hollering at them because we've done something wrong. Cooper Bradley's usually on the wrong end of that when I'm hollering. So they know I don't like to have to set up. When we do, Braden comes down, Braden finds somebody to screen, we get going like that. We don't like to have to sit there and go through plays at practice. We want to run at 100 mile an hour and get shots up.
Guys, Coach has had his say. I mean, just talk about what you think of that style that he's brought in.
I don't know. I like it because I get to shoot more. And yeah, we love to shoot. So we like it.
You're never going to pull a player out for shooting, right?
Oh no, I might say, hey, that's a bad shot. Let's try to get a little better one. But no, they know, and I think this summer they had to learn that. They'd take a shot, and they'd look over at me and be like, "Oh crap, am I in trouble for shooting it?" No, you're not going to be. We're just going to keep going.
So who are your other players besides the 3 we see here?
We got these 3 here, and then we'll have Keelan Higgins, Cooper Bradley. With these 2, we'll round it out. You got J.J. Yarborough. He's going to play this year for us. Colin Hendon, Caden Angle, Gage. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to put names and faces still. Matthew Cox is playing. So we've got a really good blend. We got some guys who are big guys. Caden Angle, some of them guys are big guys.
Yeah, and they all play football, and they're kind of tall. They're 6 foot or so.
So we're going to have some size, but we don't truly have. Braden's our one real post. The other ones, they may be big, but they still like to shoot it too. So
who are the potential 1s and 2s and 3s?
Our 1 is going to be Cooper Bradley. Cooper's young. Cooper's still a freshman. Tanner will be our 2. Kyler will be our 3. And our offense, our big man's the 4. That'll be Braden. And Keelan gets the short end of the stick. He's considered a 5, and our 5 throws it in all the time. When we run our cycles at practice, Keelan hates it because the 5 has to do the most running. He usually gets thrown in as the 5 in the second group just so they have somebody to run around like crazy. But we're excited though. We got a lot of guys who fill that 2 and 3 role.
So tell me some of the things you do in practice to accentuate that style of play. You mentioned a little bit the drill where Keelan has to go end to end.
I think they can tell you from the beginning of practice until the end of practice, they're running. I mean, we run the entire practice. Our conditioning is full court layups. They got to make 90 in 3 minutes. And they do right hand and left hand, both sides. And I think y'all can all attest that y'all don't love that.
That's a lot. 90 in 3 minutes.
They have, to start practice, we do 8-minute dribbling session, but it's dribbling full court and shooting layups full court. I know first day of practice, Cooper was laying on the ground after that first thing, asking me to please stop. So it is. I think they can attest that from the start of practice to the end of practice, it's running. There's very little downtime.
know much about the other teams in the region?
I know a little. I know Cedar Bluff more. Cedar Bluff's a one-man show, we think, but it's Bucky, and that's it. Connor's gone. Connor was the other guy we felt like last year. And Bucky, love Bucky to death. Y'all know y'all probably say after every game we play Cedar Bluff, I hug Bucky. That's the kid I have a lot of respect for. Spring Garden, obviously, top to bottom, they're solid. Coosa, hadn't seen a ton of Coosa. What I have seen, they're scrappy. They're going to get after it. And JCA, we played twice last year. They got some guys who can shoot it. But I know some of their big guys are going to be going this year.
So do you go much full court press after the shot, or do you not?
Depending on who we're playing, I like to. I do like to press. We also like a little three-quarter court press we have. But personally, I would love to be able to press the whole game, but I'm also a little realistic. The way we run on offense, we have to give somewhere. But even when we're in our zone stuff, it's up in your face zone. It's not laid back, just hanging out on defense.
What about dates? Just a date where you can come. Where's the first time people can come see the boys play at home over there?
First home game's the 18th. We got Collinsville.
Be the same
home.
day as the girls. Okay, same thing. Gotcha.
November 18th.
Same day. Okay.
Coach had mentioned something about a tournament that we're thinking about doing.
Yes, I'm all for doing tournaments. I love tournaments. So we've put together a tournament. We got technically 9 teams. There's going to be 2 teams that kind of fill in for each other. But we got an 18 boys tournament and got some teams that can play coming down there. And I'm a believer in playing competition. And there's some tough teams. I know Westbrook's coming. We got North Murray's coming over from Georgia. And it's going to be fun.
North Murray.
It's going to be.
That's where Georgia's best receiver played ball. Well, that's a step up there.
And we got some teams coming. It's going to be fun, and that's what we want.
They're going to, and I think they play. I think I've seen them on. They play that way. They get up down the court and shoot.
Yes, and that's where we're playing Valley Head that first round of that tournament, and it should be interesting. It's going to be a very fast game.
So at the end of the year, what impressions do you hope to give people that watch Galesville basketball? What do you hope they take from it?
They'll tell you I'm a big believer in that. Nobody around here respects Galesville at all, and our thing this year, we break it down. One person says earn, everybody else says respect. It's on the back of our shooting shirts this year, to earn respect, and that's what we're going to be about. Play very physical. Braden's kind of the enforcer down there. We're going to be very physical, and if we're hitting shots, it's going to be a bad night for somebody because, by gosh, we're going to get them up. And that's what they noticed that this summer. Played section the first half. I think we might have shot the ball the worst we've shot it since I've seen y'all play, even coming and watching against y'all. And then second half, we got hot and routed off about 40 points real quick. And this year, that's how we want it to be. When fans come, you never know. It could turn into a shootout. Could turn into us running away with one. Might be a night we don't hit shots, but our biggest thing is earning respect from people around here.
And give people bang for the buck.
Definitely will do that. Definitely gonna see enough shots.
So I had a thought and I lost it. I'll go ahead.
This is your first year as a head coach, or were you a head coach at Valley Head?
I was a head coach at Gaston. God, how long has that been? 3-4 years ago now. And at Valley Head last year, I was head softball and then did the junior high basketball as a head coach.
Did y'all do that up and down?
We did. And our middle school boys this year have already kind of started that, where they're all over the place, and it's fun to watch already with them.
Right.
In some years in the past, Galesville's had some concerns with depth. How are you guys so far? It looks like in your regime on depth.
I like what I've seen in our depth. These 3 right here don't like to come out of a game, and they don't normally get tired. So that helps, because I know this summer I took Braden out one time, and Braden looked like he was dying. And he got over here, he's like, "Coach, I'm fine." I was like, "Well, you look like you were dying, Braden. I'm sorry." And I got him right back out there. I was like, "I'm sorry, my bad." So these 3 don't like to come out of a game, and Cooper's the same way. So you don't really have to have a ton of depth with these guys.
I don't understand that. I know their football coach doesn't run them. He runs them a lot, doesn't he?
He does, and
Between the tires and yeah, bro, I've been over there.
and you can ask the girls. The girls have been on the receiving end of some of that running during 4th block this year.
Oh yeah, pretty bad.
They haven't loved that.
So what are some things that you didn't quite look good at in the summer that you're hoping to improve upon as a team through the year?
biggest thing I think is just finishing games. Through the summer, I thought we looked very, very well the first half of most of our games, and it's just piecing everything together. Some games we looked really good defensively and looked horrible on offense. Some games we looked great on offense and not so great on defense. So just piecing everything together, and I think I always tell people you have to give us a little bit, give us probably a month before we really hit our stride with how they're playing, because it's just new to them. But once we finally hit our stride, we're excited to see what we can do.
If you haven't gotten team shoes yet.
The big days on Converse, guys.
Guys and girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. The girls could do pink, guys could do white.
Already got my shoes. Yeah, already got mine.
Anything else, anybody? Mr. Roy, good, Shannon?
I look forward to seeing you guys this year.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you. Coach Brandon does a good job out there. He does like everything. He's baseball, he's on the football field, he's second quarterback. I mean, hats off to you and all the time you spend doing it.
Hey, and shout out to Todd. He actually called my son's first touchdown last week.
Did I really?
You did. Probably didn't know it. That was my little one got in the end zone. Todd gave him a touchdown
okay.
call over at
Those
center.
games, last a long time.
They do. that's why I was running behind today. They last forever.
He said that there's going to be 6 next week.
Yes.
6 games.
Yeah, he's
Starting
so
at 9.
first touchdown. Todd called it. I can always say that now.
Maybe a big diamond player of the week. Get over here and see him play. All right. Thank y'all, and good luck, and we look forward to It's hot. Here we go. All right, welcome everybody. The Lady Tigers are in the building, so glad to have y'all here. And we know all these little faces here, and we're happy to see everybody. And not a new coaching face, kind of, but not really. But remember more as a player, it's hard to believe as a coach. So, introduce yourself, players. Can start from the end. And what grade you're in?
Sienna Smith, 9th grade.
Tiana Smith, 9th grade.
Hayden Cannon, 11th. Zanaya Kyle, 11th. Kaya Glenn, 10.
Kaylee Bruce, 10th.
And we're missing Ansley. She's 9th grade. Riley, 9th grade. And Kylie and I both are 9th grade too. So
Still got a young team, Coach.
Yep.
We covered y'all last year, got to watch you play a lot, and seeing you get frustrated sometimes as a coach, and I would try to remind her that, you know, everybody's always going to have something to say. I was just trying to encourage her as a coach.
Yeah.
But until somebody wants to go and do it for 4 years and then go coach for pretty much for free, it's not as easy as it looks, and you do a good job. So you just keep doing what you're doing and don't get frustrated. So
thank you.
what are you looking forward to, I guess, this season starting out? What's kind of changed? You got a lot of the same people. They're just a little bit older this year. So.
Did you lose anybody? Sorry.
No, well, Caitlin Slayton played for us, but she's the only one.
Okay, go ahead.
And we have no seniors this year, but I'm just ready to put the past in the past. Everybody's a year older, and we're gonna grind this year. Get in shape, beat everybody down the court. That's our goal. That's our goal this year. They don't love getting in shape, but that's part of it. We're trying to look at running as a good thing. Really, it's hard to sometimes.
Well, you know, what I used to tell the boys when they were younger in running, that, you know, when you look down the line, I would say, do you see anybody that's really happy about running right now? No. So it's just, Luke Hampton was my only kid that liked to run. I mean, I would say, look at everybody except Luke.
Yeah.
Because Luke just liked to run. So it's just part of being in shape, and it's what you have to do to play the game. And nobody really likes it. So might as well just do it.
Nobody's having any running parties.
No, not at all.
Girls, tell us a little bit about how the summer went and some of the things you worked on this summer.
Well, me, during the summer, I had a heart problem, so I was not there
That's
as
a good
much.
excuse.
As
I mean,
much.
it really is. That's a good
Well, I wasn't there as much as they were, so.
Well, I know for me, this summer, we only got 1 month to work on it because I play volleyball, so we only had like 3 weeks maximum to work, and it was kind of tough because we didn't get as much summer as other teams did because we had to stop, so it felt kind of unfair, but you know, just gotta do it.
And then we did a younger camp for the first time, so that took a week too. But I think it was worth it. I think we need more like participation from the younger ones, and we need to get more parents and more kids involved in general. So I think that was worth taking away a little bit from us to get the younger ones in.
That's how you build a program.
And that's what we're trying to do right now is build.
What age kids are you talking about?
I think it was like 3rd through 5th grade, 2nd through 5th, 2nd through 5th. Yeah, so they were young ones, but it was fun. It was super cool, and it was good for us too. I think bonding and working together, and it was cool seeing them help the younger ones.
I think that's an advantage at a small school. Me going to school there and being around, and all of us can relate to that. Knowing the players, like I remember, you know, Todd's a little older than me, but I remember seeing them as players. So involving those young kids, and they're seeing you as role models. So it makes them to be young Tigers to think about playing the sport. You know, so just remember y'all were always a role model in small schools. Everybody knows everybody. So
Yeah.
it's good.
So are we looking at more zone during the summer, or did you play man-to-man during the summer? Who were some of the teams you played in the summer?
We didn't play teams in the summer. We worked on fundamentals. We dribbled. We worked on our shots and little things like that. Because I think that's a lot of what we need sometimes. I do wish we could have got some games in, looking back now, but we just didn't.
It doesn't matter.
Katie, how's your second year as opposed to last year so far?
I feel better about it. I'm obviously nervous. Like I want to do them justice. Like I want us to keep growing and not be content with where we are. And I'm super thankful to have Coach Amerson back because he pretty much taught me everything I know about basketball. So and I know now if I'm struggling with something, I'm like, Coach, I need your help. Like, and he's always super helpful and showing me drills and things like that.
Now,
So,
he's your assistant, right?
him and Miss Mandy Walker is helping me this year.
And you're his assistant?
Technically, sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Look, I'm just gonna be whatever he tells me to do. I got you. I got clock if he needs me to do clocks, little things like that in practice. I can do some dribbling drills with the boys sometimes. But.
So what do you know about the other teams in the region? What do you expect?
I mean, I don't want to like call anybody out really, but I have high expectations for us against our region. I think Coos Christian was a fun game for us to play last year.
Yeah.
They always talk about that game for some reason. They're scrappy, but we're gonna be scrappy right back, and that'll be fun. Gales was always a fun game, competitive game, community involved. I don't know much about JCA because I don't think we played them last year.
It always gets canceled.
It gets canceled.
Yeah, we
every
didn't
year.
get to play them last year. Who am I missing? Oh, Spring Garden. They just Spring Garden.
Is Ace still there?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got 8 years left.
Ace? Yeah, I think she's still there. It's okay though. We'll face the challenge head on and do the best that we can.
Girls, just another year under your belt, another year of experience. I mean, just talk about, you guys should be, really gelled by now. You should be familiar with each other. I mean, just talk about, that being maybe an advantage this year that you guys are, should be a pretty cohesive unit, I would think.
Yeah, after last year, I feel like we've gotten closer since the summer, being able to work together, even though, like Kaylee said, we only got like 3 weeks together. I feel like we bonded and became a stronger team just within that time span. So I'm looking forward to this season and seeing how we grow even more.
I feel like since we've been together like a couple years now, we're starting to like understand each other more, like with like reading passes, like understanding where it's gonna go before it goes necessarily, and it's like getting better in that aspect.
I feel like we're all more comfortable voicing our opinions to each other and like being around each other, because before some of us didn't want to talk to other people on the team because we were uncomfortable with telling them how we felt about everything that was going on. But now I feel like we're more together as like one team, and I feel like this year is going to be a way better year.
Do y'all hold each other accountable?
Yes.
Yes.
But not in a bad way.
No.
When I was in the 9th grade, our point guard would cuss people out.
Well, our thing was just like
Get off the floor, man. You suck.
our thing too was like 8th graders though. Imagine like an 8th grader stepping up on a varsity team, and then like the older ones saying, "Hey, come on, do this." Like as an 8th grader, you're already nervous, and then when someone older tells you what to do, like sometimes you don't take it like you should, and like you have to just tell them, look, they're not trying to be mean necessarily. They're trying to help you. Like they want you to be successful, so we can, as a team, be successful.
Be coachable.
Yeah, coachable. Yeah.
Being coachable is something it's kind of got lost over the years.
Mhm.
So I always tried to leave with mine when they would leave from middle school, their age stuff, just to be coachable. You're not always
Yeah.
right. Daddy's not always right. I was a daddy, one time. So just be coachable.
They're fun though. They're fun group. There's never a dull moment with them.
Girls, what's it like to play for Katie? She seems like she's a player's coach. I mean, just talk about playing for Katie.
It's very fun. Like when she'll scrimmage with us, she does not sit there. She definitely jumps in with us and plays
Yeah.
constantly.
I feel like she's more excited about the scrimmaging and everything, and maybe she'll rip her pants again this year.
That's like 4 pride runs for you right there. We're not gonna talk about that.
The clipboard.
What are y'all doing to me right now?
They seem like a lively bunch.
They are, but they're need to chill a lot.
You're giving them a lot to work with.
Yeah.
I know it's my fault. I take the blame.
Yeah, she seems like a player's coach. I mean, being around softball a lot, she'll be out there just catching the ball and throwing across like she's playing. She'll go up there and catch and warm up a pitcher. I mean, so I can see her
have
eligibility.
eligibility left.
I know. I wish so bad.
So what are some of the things that you didn't do as well last year that you hope to do better at this year?
Pressing.
Yes,
Getting pressed.
Getting pressed, breaking the press, and pressing the other teams.
And ball handling.
Boxing out.
I feel
shooting,
like my ball
communication.
handling has got 10 times better now because I used to be very uncomfortable with even holding the ball outside of the 3-point. But we have been working a lot, like before Katie could come out and
Katie.
or before Coach, y'all have been calling her Katie all before Coach could come out at 2:30 and practice with us. We were doing it with Coach Amison, and we literally dribbled every day. And I feel like I became more comfortable because I got the nickname Mama. I moved very slow because I was really uncomfortable with what I was doing, and now I'm a little more comfortable with the moves. I'm not as great at them yet, but I am more comfortable.
Yes, yeah, it's a good.
I feel like he.
Hayden, that's what I call my fiance anyway, my mom's. No, it sounds like y'all have grown some, and there's becoming to be some more confidence in the team and congealing, working together. And this is the things that we expected. You know, I told you last year, you know, these are things that you're going to go through, these growing pains, but it'll be worth it. You know, just hanging there, you're doing a good job with them. And,
Thank you.
I look forward to the year. I really look forward to seeing these girls play.
So at the end of the year, somebody that sees Cedar Bluff girls play, what are some of the things you want, what are the impressions you want to give them?
That we try. Like that every game we tried our hardest, whether it's like a bad outcome or not.
I never given up, I guess.
Seeing our confidence go up from last season, I feel like we've gotten a whole lot more confident than last season already.
And I just find in little positives too. Like I try to before practice and after practice, I'm like, all right, a couple good things from this practice, and we have to find those because there's so many negative things that go on. Not necessarily at practice, but like every day in the world and everything. Just find something positive, learn something from the situation, and then grow from it. And that's what I want them to do. Not get so down on themselves. Find a positive, like something good happened. You did something well, I promise, but.
Yeah, because as they grow, you have grown. You know, you're
For
growing
sure,
with
yeah,
this group.
exactly. And I love that. I think that it makes us closer as a program.
Yeah, you can't get down during the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just keep playing, keep digging, and anything. Good.
Can I tell one more story? I had a middle school team one time that was real down, putting their head in the corner, wouldn't. I mean, they just tuned me out completely. They were down 5 points. 5 points.
Yeah.
Put their head in the corner.
Oh, dude, the best player had the towel wrapped around his head, sitting there like this during halftime.
Yeah.
Of course, they won every game by 30, but except that one. But they were beaten the minute they were down, so you can't
Yeah,
go that.
But you don't have to be. There's one thing I passed along to some of the guys that played for me, Aiden and Bucky. I say, you don't have to be good to try.
Exactly.
I passed from the time they were little. You don't have to be good to try. So just you go out there and try hard and work together. Y'all are congealing. Y'all are growing together. You got a coach that's growing with you. I'm excited to see them play for real, and I'm not just saying that. I'm going to see what you got this year because y'all looked good last year. You could see the moments. And then it would kind of fizzle away. The confidence would fizzle down. They'd kind of quit and they'd back down a little bit, but then they would fire back up and you could see it. So,
Yeah, just keep the intensity full game.
yes, right. It's coming.
I think so too.
Anything else?
Look forward to seeing you guys
Yes,
play.
absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Thank
Thank
y'all,
y'all.
Lady Tigers.
Good luck, girls.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. This is our final team of the day, Cedar Bluff Tiger Boys. Coach Amison is back, and we had him on when he came back this summer to come on the show and hang out with us, and we talked about football, we talked about basketball, all kind of stuff. Anything what we talked about. So anyway, thank you for coming, and I know everybody's glad to have you back. Coach Amison has always kind of felt like Mr. Cedar Bluff. I mean, just has. I've known him since he was very young, and come from a good line of tree. Coach Carpenter, all that's kind of. Now you're the guy.
Oh yeah, I was excited.
I know, me too. So.
Good day. It was a good day.
We'll let the guys start at the end. MJ, on down. Who you are, what class, and make sure y'all yell loud back there in the back.
Hey, my name is Michael Adams. I'm class of 2024. Yeah, I'm a point guard, shooting guard. Pretty much anything, to be honest.
I'm Caleb Tucker. I'm in 12th grade.
I'm Aiden Green. I'm in the 12th grade.
I'm Bucky Leak. I'm a senior.
I'm Dylan Kennard. I'm a senior. Eli McFry. I'm a junior.
So you got a lot of seniors on the, kind of putting these guys together, and I like this team. I think coming out, I think they're going to start out with a good season. So right off, let me ask you though, where can we see them at home first? What date can we see them?
We play on the 18th. We play Heflin at home on the 18th. So that should be, that's going to be a challenge. It's a bigger school, but hey, that's what we want. We want the challenge, and we just got to go out and be the best team we can be.
Coach, you lost one starter, if I'm correct, right?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you.
That's right.
That's
right.
That's a pretty good deal bringing back 4 starters.
Mm-hmm.
You excited about that?
I am. I'm excited about this group. We got 2 guys that aren't here, Cade Browning and Austin Richardson, also seniors. That's going to contribute a lot, I believe. And I just like the group, man. That's why I was so excited to be back.
They played a lot together.
They've played a lot. They're a good bunch of kids to coach, and I'm just happy to be with them.
What are some of the things Cedar Bluff guys worked on a lot in the summer, and what are some of the things you really want to be good at during the season?
In the summer, I wasn't with them a lot. We have a really good principal, Coach McDaniel, that took them this summer because they didn't really have a coach at the time. I got hired in really late, and I was fortunate enough to see some of their games this summer, and they played really well, especially, when they had so much adversity in basketball last year, coaching-wise with people coming in, coming out for whatever reasons, and this summer was the same thing, but Coach McDaniel took him under his wing, and they responded to him and played really well. When you're going through all that and you can still, play at a high level, it says a lot about the kids, So, but going forward, it's like, we're going to go back to kind of what it used to be, where we play fast, we play hard, we're scrappy. We're trying to get to the free throw line if we can, make free throws and layups, and play good defense. And if we can do that, I feel like we can be in the game with anybody.
So up tempo a little bit, or does it?
Yes, sir. I like to run. I like to let them loose and let them play. We got some pretty good athletes, and so when you gotta let them go. So that's what I like to do.
Guys, I've talked to Coach Amison about how excited he is about coming back to Cedar Bluff. How excited are y'all to have him back?
Excited, it's not even the word. It's not even the word. It's just you
you.
just gotta see it. You got to see it. You know what I mean? It just feels good. Feels really good.
Well, Coach, y'all's win totals have gone up every year. There's a few years there where there's struggle.
Mhm.
And I think 2 years ago, Bucky, y'all won 11 and 12 last year.
Mhm.
So that's a positive.
Right.
And with a lot of the same players back,
Mhm.
it just keeps going up and getting better.
Yes, sir. And once again, that's just a testament to the kids, man.
Right,
like I said, I don't know, y'all had 3 coaches last year, maybe 4.
Swapping your
and they're still winning games no matter what. So my focus this year is more about our culture and getting us right together, because the talent is there, you know, but you got to have your culture right, and you got to do things the right way if you want to be successful very successful,
Right.
And so I think if we can get that right, then the sky's the limit for these guys.
Guys, who are some of the teams you're really looking forward to playing this year?
Galesville.
Spring Garden.
Spring Garden, yeah.
Spring Garden.
So at the end of the year, whenever people see Cedar Bluff boys play basketball, what are some of the impressions you hope they have of you guys?
We'll let y'all answer first, then I'll answer.
A tough team, like we ain't gonna back down, fast, We can play a little hard on you, know what I mean? We ain't no soft, we no little pushover, nothing like that, you know what I mean? So like that. So that's how I like to think about us.
I agree with everything he said. Basically, yeah, what he said.
Coach?
I agree with that. And so we hadn't even talked about it yet, because they've been playing football, and our first practice will be Monday. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in there and we're going to talk about culture, get that right. And for me, the theme of the season is going to be toughness. We've got to be a tough team because we play tough teams. Our area is tough. There's no pushovers in our area, nobody. We've got to respect everybody, and we've got to play the game the right way, or, we come up on the short end of the stick. So and we don't want that. We got big goals. They don't know it yet, but I know they already got goals anyway, big goals. But we got big goals, and we got to get to it. And the only way we can do that is being together, and like I say, having a culture right.
All right.
Go ahead.
I know there's only so much you can say because you didn't coach as much in the summer and just starting on Monday, but do you see much of the threes, or do you see much of pounding it in the post, or do you see what do you envision as of today?
As of today, what I would like for us to be able to shoot a little bit. We're gonna have to. That's one thing we're gonna have to get to. But shooting threes, I like that. But getting to the paint, that's my main goal. We got to be able to get into the paint on offense and keep people out of the paint on defense. And I feel like if we can do that, play strong inside, score off 2 feet in the paint, and then spray the ball out to shooters, I think that would be good for us. Put it that way.
Coach, I don't know if you knew this, but he shot more free throws in a ball game than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, I like it. Did he hit it? Well, did he hit it? How many did he hit? That's the question.
I don't know how many.
How many did you hit?
In a middle school game.
Okay.
6-minute quarter. And Eli hit 2 half-court shots in the same game.
I remember that. That was against Spring Garden.
You remember that? Obviously he does. 2 in the same game. And one of them was for a game winner, right?
Something like that.
I think the tie. Was it the tie or the game winner?
I think
It might have sent it.
I think it was tie.
Overtime, yeah, it's into overtime.
He hit one earlier in the game at the end of the half, then hit the other one.
Yeah.
That was a crazy
So you
game.
got 2 unique players there.
So what
I hope so.
tournaments are you guys going to be in?
Well, we're hosting the Invitational tournament this year, the County Invitational. We're going to JCA for a tournament. I feel like there's another one. And just the county tournament, so that's it.
So do you know much about your region opponents?
Yeah, I know a little bit. JCA is going to be tough, but you kind of, with them, you kind of never really know what they're going to have. They find players from everywhere, and they usually can play. So, and it's tough going there and winning at their place. Galesville's going to be tough. We know a lot of them because most of them play for us at some point, and they're going to be tough. They can shoot, they can run, they can do all that stuff.
Yeah, Coach Fan talking about how he's going to come down. They're just going to pull the trigger a lot. They're going to shoot the ball.
Trust me, they are.
So
Pass it, shoot threes.
that's going to be it's a do or die. If you hit, you win. I remember when the Rockets went out there.
Right.
They shot 53.
Shot 53s that was about 3 years ago. But when it hits, it's great. But if it don't, it could
Yeah, and he was with Valley Head last year, and they kind of play that way, and so I expect some of the same kind of stuff from what they did.
And it's supposed to be a rival. So for everybody watching that may not know, Cedar Bluff, Galesville, it's Alabama, Auburn, and you're supposed to. I mean, you don't actually hate people,
Right,
but you
but-
really don't want them to win. You want
Right.
to fail at everything they do.
Mhm.
And the Galesville's supposed to feel the same way, and it's okay.
Right, yeah, oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
all right. I mean, you're rival schools, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Right. You know what Spring Garden is? I mean, you
Yes.
know, they're the garden, and so that's all you got to say about them. And then Coosa Christian, they should be pretty decent this year too. They'll be athletic. They're, like I said, they're the same as JCA. They're getting guys in from everywhere, and
And their weight room program is really taking
yeah,
off. So
yeah.
I know from football, from being around there,
right.
and those guys that play basketball too,
Yeah.
they're going to look different.
So like I said, there's no pushovers in our area. You know, we're gonna have to fight for every game.
You got a good group of seniors, man. I love all these boys, and I'm happy to. Excited to see them play, man. It's gonna be
Sir,
great.
me too.
Coach, being a couple of years away from these guys, it gave you maybe an opportunity to see them in a different light, a different fashion. I mean, just talk about, now coming back, what you might have learned, and carrying that into this season with these guys.
Well, the biggest thing I learned, I've kind of touched on a little bit, is just their resiliency, how tough they can be, and they're doing things without even really knowing it. And it's just them. It's just who they are. And
It's just tapping that potential.
yeah, and they're great kids. We got a great community, and we just want to get it back to, we want to get our swagger back a little bit. Where, where people, I remember some years ago where people hated to play Cedar Bluff, and and those were the good days.
Yeah.
And that's where I want us to get back to. I want people to not want to play us.
Was that when Tyreek played?
Hey, yeah, it was a couple of them guys in there. Yes, sir. Tyreek, Tans, D'Angelo, Marcus, all of that. All of them. We had some good runs. We had some very good players. Some very good players. So, and these guys are, capable of doing some of the same things. It's just putting that work in.
I was gonna say, since, which I think year before last, I did the clock for Cedar Bluff, but I saw a change in him after Coach Carpenter let them start pushing it more with Bucky and Ombre, and they've just been a different team ever since. And so that's exciting. I'm not trying to tell you how to coach. They don't seem like a slow it down type team.
Right. Yeah, and that's
just in general, man. The kids in general, kids just like playing fast. Football is all fast paced. You got football teams running 80 plays. Football is kind of like basketball now. You like to go fast. It catches people out of position to be able to take advantage of the situations. Basketball or football.
Right.
Fast or slow, guys?
It's just how it is, man.
Now I'm gonna use this for later, for when we're running, and it's on tape. Fast. That's what we want. So.
No complaining.
That's right.
It's fine. It's fine.
They're ready. They'll be ready to go. They're gonna be all right.
It's good, man. It's good stuff.
Look forward to seeing you guys play this year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're glad Coach Amos is back. Mr. Cedar Bluff, he just kind of is, man. I mean, it is. It is what it is. I can say it's my darn
We're
sure.
gonna play the games in that old gym this year.
No.
Y'all practice over there yet?
In the elementary gym, you mean? Yeah. Well, they haven't practiced yet at all.
I didn't know.
Some of these guys that didn't play football, we've been in there shooting and doing some drills and stuff in there, and like with the girls and everything, like what they were talking about.
Y'all just go girls 1 week early, then y'all late, then next week.
Yeah, well, I guess that's kind of what we're gonna do. We hadn't even really discussed it much yet, but that's probably what we'll do. Because we got the junior high going too, and I like to let them go first because they can't drive and all that, and so just try to let them go first right after school and get them going and get them out, and then they'll come in and we'll get at it.
I always thought an outside game at the asphalt would have been a great
Yeah,
wrong.
probably.
You know, just one
yeah,
time.
yeah.
You know?
Well, they fixed the park back up now, so
Oh,
maybe
good.
we can do something at the park one day.
You know,
Like Rucker Park. And
Yeah.
I don't know when you do it, they don't have to wear fur coats.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna cut you loose. Thank y'all. Good luck. And,
Thank you.
We'll be seeing y'all.
Good luck, fellas.
See y'all.
Roll Tide.